I feel as though I need wine for this. Now I feel ready. Hello. Thank you for making the choice to tune into my video. I have thought about doing this for a really long time. I love doing my nails, and sometimes I think I come up with cool designs. So finally bit the bullet and just decided, why not? I'm 28, who cares? The reason that I decided to do this ultimately was because I love watching nail content. There are a ton of creators out there that I really enjoy watching. And whenever I am looking for a style to do for myself, I feel as though I can't find exactly what I'm looking for. I like styles on my nails to be darker, a little bit vampy, a little bit more alternative. And people do a lot of those styles around Halloween. And there are definitely some folks that do it year round. And I thought that that would be a cool place for me to do some designs. I feel like there's not as many out there as there are for other styles of nails. So that's ultimately why I decided to do this. Was I have some pretty fun ideas, I think, and I just wanted to film them and put them out there in case other people wanted to watch or were searching for something similar. So what I am going to be doing today are cat claw nails. Now, I saw this picture on Pinterest and thought that these were adorable and that I wanted to do something similar. I decided to do some more digging on Pinterest, and I wasn't finding a ton. I was finding some that looked more like realistic cat claw nails, like that's kind of the vibe that they were going for, but there wasn't a lot of content on Pinterest. So I looked on YouTube, and there were a couple shorts that I found, but really not much content that I could find on the cat claws. And then I took to Instagram and I found the gold mine. So I stumbled on this Instagram page, Saragi Nails, and they have several different posts and different styles of these cat claw nails. And so I was like, yes, I found it, that's great. I wanna do this. I gained some inspo from the Pinterest picture that I saw and from Saragi Nails, and thought, like, this is what I wanna do. This is different than a lot of stuff that I had seen, and I think it would be really fun to try out. So what my goal is with these is I want to keep the cat claw style, but I do want to make them a little less dramatic just to begin with. I can definitely see myself wanting to try out the more dramatic style of cat claw nails, but for now I just want to see how I like them, how they wear, and if I can even do it in a way that looks nice. So that is what we are in for today. Let's get to it. Today I am going to be using, these tips are Galong Square, and they are quite curved. So with the cat claw nails, what I was noticing, and what you probably noticed when I put the picture up, is that the cat claw nails have a very dramatic apex, and they also have a very low tip at the end. And so what I am going to do is I'm going to build the nail up pretty significantly with polygel. I'm going to use polygel today because that's going to be the easiest thing to maintain the shape. So I'm going to build the nail up using polygel, and then this tip doesn't quite have the arch that I want, and I will be trimming them down pretty significantly. And so once I build up the nail, then I will go underneath with an e-file and carve out that claw shape. A lot of the cat claw nails that I was seeing were very dramatic, like even more so than this. Like I recognize that this feels pretty dramatic, at least to me, especially with that clear polygel. You can really see how much polygel I have put there. I really like the way it turned out, and so that's what I'm going to do. But I did want to create somewhat of a less dramatic or less intense cat claw. So I have already sized out my tips, and so what I am actually going to do is, since I find with these tips that are a little bit of a thicker plastic, I feel like they have a hard time adhering to my nail. And so I am going to etch the well of the nail with my e-file. Now that we have the nail tips on, I am just going to cut them down to the length and the shape that I want. And so I love the length that I did my pinky. It's not long for me particularly. I've been doing kind of short nails recently, but the curve I think has a pretty decent impact on it. So I'm just going to give these a trim and try to get them the same approximate length, but I know that that will be hard until I cut the actual shape, and then I will be able to tell a little bit better as to if I have the right length or not. I have a feeling these ones are going to be a little bit long. And the thumb I usually will try and cut a little short, and then I'm just going to take my straight edge nail clippers and just going to start cutting a pretty dramatic stiletto. Okay, so now that I have that done, I am going to take the 100 side of my 100/180 grit file, and I am going to make the shape. Okay, now that I have that shape kind of set, I am now just going to remove the shine from the top of the nail tips. So now I'm just going to clean up my nails with a little bit of alcohol, and then we will get to actually starting the nails. Now it is time to prep my nails. So to do that, I am going to use this ASP Prep and Clean dehydrant. I just get this at Sally Beauty. I have used this dehydrant for a long time. Probably since I started doing my nails, honestly. And I feel like it works great. I feel like a dehydrator is a dehydrator. Then I am going to go in with this ASP Extra Strength Primer. Now, this is an acid-based primer, and I'm not a professional. I don't know anything about how terrible this is for you. But I used an acid-based primer when I started doing my nails, and, you know, quite liked it. And then I ran out, and so I bought the primer and dehydrator from Model 1s, and it's an acid-free primer, and I was like, oh, I'll give that a try, because, like, why do I need acid, I guess? But I found that my nails were not sticking. I was having a lot of lifting, and so I went back to this acid-based primer because it has worked really well. Now, a word of caution, which you would probably know if you're a professional, but I'm not, so I have given myself a chemical burn with this. I got it on my leg and didn't wipe it off and gave myself like a blister, like a real chemical burn, so do be careful. After that dries, I am going to use this Beetle's Foundation Base Gel as my base coat, and then I will set my nails in for a 45-second cure. I'm pretty sure, like everything this says, this recommends 90 to 120 seconds, but I find that it does just fine with 45 seconds. I am going to get my little coffin, isn't he cute, to use as a, I don't know what you want to call it, little stand, put my hand on. Then I will go ahead and just make sure I don't have any base gel on my skin before I cure. I'm just going to go ahead and wipe that off. And then set that into cure. Now I did give those a little flash cure just so I could do my thumb, so that they would stay in place while I also cure my thumb. Often I like to put sunscreen on my hands when I do my nails because I do my nails really frequently, but I did not this time. So it's kind of on, not really a little bit of a time crunch, but a little bit. I work 4/10s right now and I really wanted these nails to be done, but I get off work at 6 and then, you know, I have my evening and I have my 3 dogs that I need to feed and my partner that I like to hang out with. And luckily these nails are not anything super intense. Like, they're not going to be super challenging. It took me a while yesterday when I was doing my practice nail to get used to polygel again. I haven't used polygel in quite a long time, and so it took me a little bit to get used to the polygel again, but as for shape and structure and anything, really not that challenging. This is what I'm going to use to build my nail. So it's just the Macart Clear Polygel, and I will be using alcohol as my slip solution. And look at this little shot glass that I am going to use to hold my alcohol in it. And I am going to just continue to keep my little skull here. You might make some noise because it is a box. So I've got my brush, I've got my alcohol, and we can get going on the application. So I am just going to build kind of a base for each nail before I start building it up. So I'm just going to take a little layer and just make sure that it's at my cuticle and all the way to the end before I start getting crazy with building the shape. So yeah, I use, the majority of the time I use a builder gel, just classic IBD builder gel. It's what they have at Sally's, but I, even throughout all of my nail experiments, I love that stuff. It's funny, when I wasn't doing my nails, like, or I didn't really know how to use these products, I would get the IBD builder gel from Sally's and I would put a tip on my nail, like the same tip that I have going on right now, but I would just brush it on like nail polish, just enough to hide the little bump that's created when you put the nail tip, when you glue the nail tip onto your natural nail. And then I would just paint over it. So I would just try and create like a flat surface pretty much. Now I like using it because it self-levels. It makes me feel like I'm really good at doing my nails. And I started out with polygel because I think polygel is really, really beginner friendly, because you can take your time. but I just ended up loving the like self-leveling aspects of builder gel. So that is my true love now, and I'm okay. I'd say for a base that's looking pretty good. So I'm just going to make sure I don't have any rogue polygel on the side, and then I'm just going to give it a quick flash cure before I move on to my other nails. One of the questions that I got, because I did ask on my Instagram, and a couple people responded, which was super sweet. And so one of the questions that I got was from my best friend, and she asked me what the inspo was for the nail set that I'm working on. And I kind of already told you guys that at the beginning, that I had seen these cat shape nails, and I love them. I like things that are like a little different, a little out there. It's kind of my jam. And so I liked when I saw the cat claw shape of nails that it was giving very like vampire witch vibes, which I would say is kind of what I want in my nails, or in my nail designs. Like I always seem to come back to that kind of like alternative style. As you can see, I'm not really worrying about the shape right now because these guys are looking a little busted, but that's okay because I'm gonna do at least one more coat. These guys are the banes of my existence, this little thing. This is what I do not miss about polygel. It's like having to get this like little string off the end. It's infuriating to me. Ugh. Just take my little spatula and wipe it off. Then I am going to just repeat this on my nails. Okay, so now that I have all of that applied, I'm going to put those in for a full cure, and then we will get to the second layer. So the second layer, I am going to focus more on building that high arch. So I am just going to drop that on there, kind of like I want it to, in the shape that I want it to be in. And then I will go ahead and just start working it. So kind of my goal here is I'm going to work a little bit back towards the cuticle again, because there's obviously a lot of product. So I am going to work it back towards the cuticle just to make sure everything is like filled in with the cuticle. I might have taken a little bit much in this one. Yeah, this is going to be way too much polygel, so I'm just going to take some of that off and plop it on this now. Okay, I feel like that one looks pretty good. You know, the nice thing about these is that the goal is kind of for them, not kind of, it is for them to be rather bulky, at least up ways. And so them being bulky isn't really an issue, which is great. I am just going to jump through the rest of the nails because at this point it's getting pretty repetitive. All right, so I finished applying the polygel. I guess we'll see once I file it if I need to add more. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not sure at this point. This one doesn't look very arched. I definitely think I'm going to have to add more to the thumb, but I'm going to go ahead and do my right hand off camera, and then I'll be back to do some shaping and filing. Okay, I am back with all of my nails built out. hopefully tall enough. I don't know. I really struggled with my doing my right hand, my non-dominant hand. I have not worked with polygel in so long, and I got cocky with this one. Okay, so I'm going to get to filing now. I do want to bring my dust collector out because I think I'm going to have to do a pretty decent amount of filing. So I'm first going to create the curve that I'm looking for, and then I will go and do the shape and all around the top and everything like that. So for this, I am going to use a medium grit bit to carve out the underneath of my nails. Okay, so I have filed, shaped, and buffed the nails. I also went in and added a layer of builder gel on top of them because I felt like I couldn't get as close as I wanted to the cuticle with the poly gel, and some of them needed a little bit more of that dramatic arch. So we are good to polish at this point. Now, I don't really know what I want to do. I want to kind of go with the vibe that Saragi Nails went with, which is a little darker. So I have this black, I have these purples and blues, and really what I want to do is like a jelly, like a dark jelly base. And then what I will do is I want to go over it with different chrome powders. It'll be a bit of an experiment. So I don't have a palette to mix colors in right now, so I think I will just use the lid of one of my boxes and make sure it's squeaky clean. And I'm going to definitely do black. But let's see what these colors look like. The purple. Okay, that would be really pretty. So that's Purple Glaze by McCart. Blackberry Gumdrop. Let's see what this one looks like. Okay, so this is a dark blue. Jelly, which would also be really cute. Next is Bluebill, and I think this one's a little bit, I think this one's opaque, so I would have to, yeah, that one's opaque and definitely not the tone I'm going for. And we have Blueberry Bubblegum, which I think this one's a light jelly. Yeah, so that's a little bit more similar to the tone of the Bluebill, and just a little bit lighter. Okay, so I think if anything, I will be using black, and then maybe these two. All right, so what I am going to do is I'm going to take this black gel polish by ASP and Black Beauty, and this is it's black, not super opaque. And then I'm going to take some of my Savvyland top coat and just pour some of that in there in order to create a jelly black. I just made so much. This stuff is quite runny, and so I didn't really anticipate it pouring out that much, but let's see. All right, I have got that all mixed up. It looks pretty good. It looks like it will be jelly enough. Let me get my little coffin again. I'm gonna take a little bit of this polish and I thought it would be maybe a little bit darker. All right, I need to add more black, I think. That's not quite dark enough. It looks like I'm just adding another layer of clear. So let's add some more black. I used way too much top coat, but oh well. I added more black, so let's see if that does anything. Yeah, that's much better. I feel like there's this phenomenon happening in which the black is getting stuck to my brush and only the top coat is really getting applied. All right, I moved my little coffin so I could actually see the pigment. I'm gonna go ahead and do a second coat and then I'll be back. Okay, I'm actually really happy with the way that that's looking. So now it's just, I need to decide if I want to do the jelly black on all of them or if I want to use some of the jelly purple and blue. You know, I was thinking, and I will save the blue and the purple for another day and another set. I imagine I will want to do a fill on these nails because I like them and I used a lot of product, so I imagine I'll want to do a fill and a change of color, and so I will save the blue and the purple for that. So I'm going to go ahead and just apply this jelly black to the rest of my nails. Time for the second coat. This is 2 coats done, so I am going to... My dogs got new toys yesterday and they are very excited about them. So I'm going to do my right hand and then I will be back. All right, at this point I have both coats of polish on. I am liking the way that they look. I just grabbed out one of these little double walled containers and I'm going to see if I can get some of this gel in here and then we can move on to the rest of the nails. I've gotten most of what I can get off of this lid, and so I will just go ahead and clean this up. Since I am using chrome powder, I'm going to go ahead and add a layer of top coat to my nails so that the chrome powder will stick. I really like this stuff, this Savvyland top coat. I obviously use a lot of top coat because I do my nails very frequently and I like to mix colors, as you just saw. And so I decided to buy this big thing of top coat and it has served me very well. It self-levels really well, it's very shiny, kind of everything you want in a top coat. So top coat is applied. So now what I am going to do is choose out my chrome mirror powders. Now these are from Born Pretty and I have about 7 here. So let's see. There's a pink one, cute. Like another pink one, isn't it? Okay, so this one's more purple and this is pink. Love the green. This one doesn't look to have, this one might just be kind of a white chrome. This is another green, blue-ish, maybe. All right, this is a purple, blue. I'll keep that one. And this is a little bit more of a yellow. So those are the colors I'm going to use. And I've got my little applicator. that has already been used, but I don't think that will be too much of a problem. I'm going to test this out. What I want to do is I just kind of want to put these in random places on my nail, so just like dot it all around. I'm going to start with this purple for sure though. Right, that's really pretty. I really like that. It's kind of hard to see with this lighting, but I really like the way that that looks. So I'm going to go ahead and keep doing that for these nails. I know what I need. This guy. Cute that is though. We'll see how it looks when I put the top coat on. It's kind of hard to tell that there's different colors right now, but that powder also isn't very dramatic, so. Alright, so I have this hand done. It's looking pretty good. There are some nails that aren't as vibrant as I would like them to be, but I don't know if that's just because of the lighting, but I'm going to go ahead and do my right hand, and then I will be back. So I forgot through all of this that I had a question from somebody that was, what's your favorite non-toxic polish? I'm not a professional, so I don't really know what all toxins there are in nail polishes, but I know that there are often like 3 to 7 different kinds that are usually present in gel polishes. And I do believe that McCart and Beetles, probably the ASP, I'm not sure, are free of those toxins. I would have to look into it a little bit more, but I'm pretty sure that they are. But those are, I mean, McCart and Beetles are the 2 gel polishes that I use the most. And then, so this is the final result. But I am going to go ahead and apply some cuticle oil and then get some final shots. So another question that I got was, what's my favorite cuticle oil? And I haven't really tried a lot. I'm just now kind of getting into treating my nails and like my skin around my nails a little bit better. But I do really just like this Sally Hansen Vitamin E cuticle oil. I think it works really well, but the one that I've been using recently are these Blossom scented cuticle oils. I just got these at Walmart. I don't think these work as well. I'm not even sure what kind of oil it is, honestly, but they're really cute. And so I can't help but buy them because they're adorable. Well, that is all for this video. So I just want to say thank you so much to those of you who took the time to tune in. I really appreciate it, and I'm excited to make more of these. This was really fun, and so I have a lot of other ideas. Thank you so much for watching, and maybe I'll see you in the next one. Toodaloo!